Alright, so we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and in today's video we are going to be looking at the free-to-play Oolong and launch. Now, I typically don't do showcases on just random free-to-play releases like this. Usually they're not really that good, they don't really hold any value in the game, so there's no real reason to showcase them. But with these guys, it's very, very interesting because they're going to be pretty good for the first couple turns, and then even after that, they're going to look pretty impressive because for the first turn, they start off with 560% attack and defense, which is a very good buff. But then you can see after it does unfortunately drop down, they lose 60% attack and defense up to 300%. So you're only going to be down to, what, I think 260% attack and defense. So that's still a very good buff, but you have to keep in mind they are a free-to-play unit. So you can see here only 8,183 defense. Definitely very low. And then basically 11,000 attack. Not really the best either, but still, they're going to be pretty useful. They get defense on super, and they do build up a chance to dodge as well. So overall, they're going to be a very good free-to-play unit, which is why, I wanted to showcase them. So I guess we can go and get right into it. Yeah, this opening rotation does kind of suck. We have a little bit of support with the Bola, but, we only have 1 out of 7 links activated right here. We're here at 283k defense, so like I said, the free-to-play stats, man. An attack and defense buff of 560% is very crazy. But when your stats are looking like this, like at rainbowed level, it's going to make you look a little unimpressive considering those stats. And also, we're going to lose a lot of that attack and defense buff. So we'll see what they're looking like after they lose some of their stats. But keep in mind, like I said, they do build up a chance to dodge. And there is other things in their kit. So we can just go ahead and start going over their kit. On their super attack effect, they do get 30% defense for 1 turn, plus supreme damage, and then they seal. Okay. The seal is pretty nice. I guess in Super Battle Road, that'll be pretty good. But in Super Battle Road, you're never really running them. Okay, what was that, like a 3 million attack stat? Considering we're sealing, and the animation looks kind of good, it's not horrible, right? They could be pretty useful. If you bring them type advantage, then they'll provide some value for the first couple turns. If you bring them in like a difficult event that only has 1 phase and it's AGL, I could actually see them being pretty useful in there because normals, they should be able to tank at least for the first couple turns. And then as, the rotations go on, you build up that chance to dodge, and then you could just hopefully dodge the super. But we do have a lot of good support units on the team and a lot of good linking partners for them. And on that opening rotation, we did not have either. We had a little bit of attack support, but, we want the defense support because I think it's fair to say they are more of a defensive unit. They build up the dodge, they get defense on super, they have very high, they have high attack and defense stats, but defense is a little bit more important, and you could tell they are a little bit more of a defense-orientated unit. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say more of a defensive unit, so going full dodge would probably be smart to then capitalize on the dodge they already have built into their kit, and then also just to dodge for the first couple turns before you build up like a really good chance to dodge. So then obviously you could dodge the supers because like I said, yeah, super attacks are not gonna go over very well with them. But anyway, we got 4 out of 7 links activated. We still have some support from the Bola. 269k defense. Not good, not bad. You got to keep in mind, like I mentioned earlier, they are losing 60% attack and defense every time like a turn goes on. So every turn they're losing 60% attack and defense. But then they also get a 10% chance to dodge up to 50%. So then you lose the 300% attack and defense, but you gain a 50% chance to dodge, which if you go full dodge with them, which like I said, I already do recommend, then you could probably dodge most of the attacks with them. And especially with them getting defense on super, they'd be a pretty decent floater on the team, especially considering a lot of the weak teams they're on. Dragon Ball Saga, it has some good units on there. You got Path to Power Kid Goku, you got Bulma, but still an addition like this is useful. And then, Joined Forces isn't really great, but it didn't need a unit like this, that's for sure. Warriors Raised on Earth, no, that's already good enough. And then Earthlings probably could have used the help, actually, because Earthlings sucks. We need a new lead for Earthlings. It's crazy. It's been, like 3-4 years? I think the last time we got a lead for Earthlings was, I guess the Prime Battle Krillin. I think he is the only lead for Earthlings, or the only good lead. I know we got a couple other leads for like 130% probably, but he's at 150% lead to Earthlings, and I still think he is the best lead for that category, which is so weird, man. Like, all these little categories, like, Dokkan just straight up forgets about. They're too busy releasing base Gokus. They forget to, like, buff Majin Power or Earthlings or anything like that. And then even if they do buff the categories, you know, we get a GT bosses situation where they just completely miss and the category's still bad. But anyway, sorry, back to talking about the unit. Went off on a little tangent there. So yeah, they build up the chance to dodge, they lose the attack and defense, and then when there's another Earthlings category ally attacking in the same turn, they get 2 ki, and then a medium chance of launching an additional super attack. So that's definitely very good. Obviously having the built-in additionals does benefit them defensively because then you're getting the defense on super. So if you want to give them a little bit of additional, I mean, I guess I really can't, like, advise against that. Sorry, I was looking for the word there. Because then getting the defense on super would be very good. But I do really also recommend you try and give them as much dodge as possible. Maybe only giving them like 3 additional, so then they just have the chance to do, you know, the triple super would be pretty good. But I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't go like full additional with them or anything. And they're already tech, so they've got the base 5 crit. By the way, I'm on a private server, so, you know, this has the launch and oolong built completely, like, incorrectly. You should at least have some dodge on them. This has no dodge whatsoever. And full crit is probably the worst build for them because, you know, like we said, they're not a damaging unit. Okay, 234k defense. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's alright. What, we have a 20% chance to dodge right here? Or no, we got them on the first rotation. So then... No, we still have a 20... Oh, no, we have a 30% chance to dodge. So 30% chance to dodge. We're at like 230k defense. We get the 30% defense on super. We do have an Earthlings category ally attacking in the same turn, so we could potentially get the double super. I mean, that's not bad, right? Because then with the double super, we're approaching 400 or 500k defense with a 30% chance to dodge. And as a free-to-play unit, yeah, I guess that's not horrible. Like I said, considering, you know, you go full dodge with them most of the time, and then they will be dodging most of the attacks. There is some value, right? And like I said, they're on very weak teams as well. Dragon Ball Saga, Earthlings, well, mainly just those 2 categories, because they're only on 4 teams. So, you know, they're not on like a ton of really bad categories, but Dragon Ball Saga and Earthlings do massively benefit from them, especially considering they're free to play. All right, so that is the, what is this, the 3rd phase? Yeah, I think that's the 3rd phase down. So they don't build up or anything. We're not going to stay in the Legendary Vegeta event for too long. I just want to show them for a couple turns. Actually, they do the opposite. They get even worse. So we'll showcase them on the next turn, see what they're looking like. Of course, their stats are going to be massively worse. But then after that, we can check them out in like Red Zone Broly or something. I mean, that's going to be difficult for them. But the final phase, I think they might be able to tank. I mean, they won't be able to dodge. So that's just completely out of the equation. And also the AoE phase is going to be really rough for them. But I don't know. Is there really any other like really hard-hitting AGL enemies? I mean, I know there's the Red Zone Cell. There's Red Zone Cell Max. I guess he does have the AGL phase. But no, I want to see how good they're tanking after they lose their stats. Because once their stats are all gone, I think they're still going to be at around like 200k defense. And then after you super, I mean, yeah, if you get lucky with additionals too, you could probably push like 300-400k. I mean, that's maybe surviving normals. So, I guess there's that. Yeah, we'll take them in Red Zone Broly, because then they won't be able to dodge, so we'll just assume you get, like, the worst RNG possible, which, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but with dodging units, I typically do. I'm not really that lucky with dodge. All my UI Gokus, yeah, they never be dodging. There's a reason I don't ever run UI Gokus, not because they're necessarily bad and outdated, just because they never dodge for me. Alright, so right here, we're at 179k defense. And I'm pretty sure we still have to lose a little bit more attack and defense. Like on the next turn, I think we lose another 60%. And then I think that's it after that. But still, man, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, for a free-to-play unit, they've got value. But after a couple turns, man, they definitely drop off. So with all that shown, we can go ahead and cut to the Red Zone Broly test. Overall, I mean, they're looking alright. I guess you got to keep in mind they do have a 40% chance to dodge right here. So it's not horrible. And then because they're free-to-play, you know, you can get them rainbowed right off the bat, go full dodge with them just the second you get them. And then, I mean, what, full dodge would be like, I think 15? I think you'd be able to give them 15 dodge in total. So then a 15% chance to dodge alongside a 50% chance to dodge. I mean, obviously dodge doesn't stack, but it would be kind of like you got a 65% chance to dodge. And then if you give them some good equips, you know, you can get more than a 15% chance to dodge with an hidden potential system. So there's value with them, but I don't know. They definitely could have made them a little bit better, especially considering Earthlings and Dragon Ball Saga definitely needs the help. But anyway, with all that shown, let's go and cut to the Red Zone Broly test. All right, so we're here fighting Red Zone Broly. We've got a pretty good setup for them right here. We do have them linked next to Bulma. Do we get more links in slot 2? Ooh, yeah, we do. I think we might just do this because they're gonna die from a super, right? I mean, I think we can all agree on that. And also, I want to see their support, or them with the support from Bulma. So, okay, so they jump up to 200k. So this isn't really the best rotation for them, but we do have actually a lot of support. But in terms of links, we are missing quite a few. But we should be able to tank these normals. I don't think we just straight up die from them. And then Bulma definitely will be able to survive. So the main thing with these guys, they need better linking partners, and they just need more stuff in their kit. I think giving them something basic like guard, damage reduction, more dodge would have been nice. Because while the 50% chance to dodge is good, with how low their stats is, it should have been a little bit higher. I think a 70% chance to dodge would have been a little bit more aligned with what they actually needed. Or if they got guard for the first couple turns, so then they have, 300k defense turn 1 with guard, and they get defense on super. Or maybe you need like an Earthlings category ally in the rotation to get the guard or something like that. Because, I don't know, man. Not really a big fan of their design right now. I mean, they need something else in their kit. Like I said, guard, damage reduction, more dodge, because the 50% chance is just simply not enough. And if you take an attack, normal or super, you're probably just going to get one-shotted, right? I mean, we'll see right here. We can't dodge. We've lost majority of our stats, and this is after we supered. We have double support, and we're taking 20k. So that's type advantage. That's not horrible, considering we can't dodge, so a couple of those we might have been able to dodge, but a super attack still would have just annihilated us. Like, there's no way in hell we would have survived that. So, overall, I'm not really impressed, but I can see the value with them. I'm not necessarily completely disappointed, especially considering how free-to-play units have been handled recently, because they've been very, very bad. Like, they've had no value whatsoever. We got some of the free-to-play units for Golden Week, which this Yamcha was one of them, and of course, he was really good. We had the Tech Bulma, who was really good as well. But then, like, after that, I don't know what happened. All these free-to-play units just sucked. But now getting this unit, it's definitely a little bit of an improvement. But we need, a little bit more with these free-to-play units. But definitely a step in the right direction. So with all that shown, we're probably not going to do the unit breakdown because we've already gone over everything in their kit. So I guess that pretty much has been the video. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this unit down in the comments. And let me know how you built them in the Hidden Potential system. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.